So today we're covering refinances. Refinances in FinPower Connect facilitates the creation of a new account while automatically repaying and closing the old FinPower Connect loan account. From time to time, there may be need to refinance an existing loan account into a new loan account. This could be because you're increasing the amount borrowed using existing equity in the current security, or increasing the amount to purchase a new security item. It could be to change the loan product type and renegotiate terms with the borrower. Whatever the reason, FinPower Connect uses the combination of the close accounts and new accounts wizards to refinance accounts. This allows you to step through all the details that may be required to refinance the account and in a logical order. That order in brief is as follows. Once launched, the Refinance Wizard will first take you through calculating the required settlement figure for the current loan, including any applicable rebates, accruals, adjustments, if necessary, and loss calculations like fixed rate break costs. Then the new loan product information is confirmed, and the user can then click the Refinance button and the new account wizard portion of the process will begin. Once the details for the new loan have been confirmed and Finish is clicked, the new loan is created. On opening, FinPower Connect will automatically create the transfer from the new loan to the old, and the old loan will be closed. A link is created between these two loans to show that it has been refinanced. Delving deeper into this process now, we'll go through the wizard. To launch the wizard, the Refinance button is available from the Actions menu on the loan account. Page 1 of the Refinance account wizard, as pictured here, allows entry of the refinance date, any notes if applicable, and a summary is shown, including any warnings like the one we can see here about funds being uncleared. This is a good visual alert to the user in case they do need to delay the refinance date, for example, until those funds are cleared. Page 2, where applicable, allows credits or rebates to be entered, for example, if the loan had an insurance premium where a partial rebate may apply. Page 3 covers off reviewing any accrued interest, default interest or other interest, which you can choose to charge or not. Any unposted transactions will also be displayed, and the bottom section will display any loss, if applicable, if the current loan type is configured to use a loss calculation, and a field for any adjustments if necessary, followed by the calculated refinance value. Page 4 is where you can choose further refinance options, such as whether you're refinancing this loan into a new account or alternatively into an existing loan. In this example, we're going to go with the new account option. With the new account option, you can select the product type, account type, and promotion. One of the examples given earlier was refinancing to change the account type. This facility allows you to refinance to a different class of loan as well, which may come in handy. Once refinance has been clicked, the user will receive the following warning to confirm if they wish to proceed and that the existing loan will be closed. Page 6 is the first of the new account wizard portion of the refinance account wizard, where you can amend any external party information and is another opportunity to change the product information if required. Page 7 is where you could amend the borrowers. This facilitates refinances involving a change of borrowing entity, for example, going from joint to individual after a relationship breakup, or perhaps the addition or removal of guarantors and other various scenarios. Page 8 is the securities page. Any securities attached to the old loan would appear here and can be removed if appropriate, and any new securities can be added in at this point, which is perfect for the purpose of if the purpose of the refinance is a security swap, for example, the sale of an old car and the purchase of a new one. Page 9 is where you can change the account type itself if required. For example, if the wrong type was selected earlier in the process, there is the opportunity here again to change it. Additionally, the entry of the quoted, accepted and signed dates can be entered here, same as in the new account wizard. Page 10 is where you can amend the account name if necessary, the description, purpose, source, region and account related insurance details, and enter any notes if relevant. Page 11 is our financial page, where the user can finalise any of the key information for the new loan, for example, changing the frequencies for the repayments or adding any additional advances if required, changes to the interest rate and type, and so on. You'll notice the refinance transaction to repay the loan is already showing in the transactions grid, and any other preset refinance transactions will also be automatically added here. This is also where you can add an additional advance as mentioned, if the purpose of the refinance is to increase the overall lending amount. Page 12 is our statement and payment information page, just like we'd see in the normal new account wizard. Page 12 is the next one, page 13 is the disbursements page and is available to update any applicable dispersed transactions. A disbursement is not required for the refinance portion itself, but may be required for an additional advance if the client is licensed for and using disbursements. The account warnings page will appear here, like in our example shown, which any applicable warnings will appear here, which the user can either accept and proceed with the refinance, or it will be saved as a quote until the causes of the warnings have been remedied. And on the final page, as with the new account wizard, it gives the opportunity to either save it as a quote or open now, and whether or not to print an account contract document. Once finished is clicked, the following warning will be displayed, confirming what will happen. So if you answer yes, the new account will be created and some financial information cannot be amended after this point, or you can choose to click no and hold it as a quote and edit it at a later time. Once the new loan account is open, there is a few things to be aware of. And once it's been completed, a few things happen. As mentioned, the refinance transaction has already taken place, and if we review the transactions page on the new loan, we can see that transaction here. Also, it will show the type as refinance and some notes to say that it was refinanced from loan account and the account ID here. On the key details page, we can see in the source it is noted as refinanced, and there is a hyperlink available which will take you to the record of the old loan. On the payments page, it is important to note that the bank match is not copied across. However, provided the old loan is closed, like it should be, and hasn't been reopened, and there's no scripted interventions, the next bank import should locate the new loan, like is shown here in this example. As we can see here, it's located the new loan, despite not showing the bank match on the new loan page. Provided the bank matches are set to update, after this batch is committed, the bank match will also be reflected on the new loan. If the client does have some custom scripting in place where a closed loan will reopen if a transaction is received, for example, the site should consider making it part of their process to remove the bank match from the old loan once the refinance has been completed, to prevent the payment from going to the wrong loan and having the old loan incorrectly reopened, as an example. One other thing we'd like to point out is that with these refinanced loans, if the client is choosing to use this function to complete top-ups, as an example, they need to be aware that because it is a new loan account, they will not have the full history in the logs, only anything relevant to this particular loan. They will need to navigate to each old account record to retrieve any historic information. That said, these are reflected on the client page as shown here and are not hard to find. Related settings. So there are some settings to be aware of relating to refinances that we'd like to touch on. The first being the options around what the new account ID will be following a refinance. You may have noticed going through that our refinanced account had the original loan account's account ID, followed by a full stop and a number 2. And in the client history, we could also see that a .1 also exists. The settings for this are found in Global Settings under Accounts and the New Accounts page. You'll see here in this image there is a drop-down list for the refinanced loans where you can choose from the following options. You can choose next account code. In other words, this will be the next account code that is available. For example, L10001. Code.sequence, which is the example we've used here, which simply takes the original loans account ID and appends it with the next sequential number, separated by a full stop. Code/sequence is the same, but instead of a full stop, we have a forward slash. Code #sequence, again, same format. And code letter, which will add a letter to the end of the original account ID. On the account type settings, on the other page, and I apologize if you can't quite read this, but do recommend that you go to the account type settings so you can see this page. Here you'll find the settings for whether the account type can be used as an option for a refinance and whether or not the refinance can be redated. It's important to note that if redated forward, the original account being refinanced is not changed, and therefore there may be a period where there is no interest and fees being charged on the outstanding balance. So this is something to be aware of when enabling this option for your clients. And on the account type transactions page, you may remember we mentioned preset refinance transactions being added automatically. This is where those defaults get set. They have a frequency of refinance, which sets them apart from the others. There is more information about these in help if required, like the snippet shown here. This may not be easy to read, so we recommend pressing F1 from the screen in FinPower Connect to launch the help page itself. Short and sweet today, we've come to the end of our session, but as always, if there's any additional information you seek, don't hesitate to contact application support for user interface queries or code support in relation to code-specific questions. Next week, our topic is restructures.